What's going on, nerds? My name is Jesse and I am back for another video. Today we got a new series that I am starting called Underrated. It's going to be me giving you a spoiler-free, short, boom 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 review of films that I think are underrated or at least underseen. Today we're going to be doing Batman Under the Red Hood. I thought it'd be quite fitting because Red Hood's coming out into Injustice 2, so this is like a good time for this. I actually really love this film. I actually would put it up at least top 3 animated comic book movies of all time. Without a doubt in my mind, it's an incredible film. You definitely need to see it, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, Under the Red Hood came out in 2010, directed by Brandon Vietti. I think that's how you say that. It stars Bruce Greenwood as Batman, Jensen Ackles as Red Hood, and somebody else, if you know anything about Red Hood. John DiMaggio is the Joker. We got Neil Patrick Harris coming in as Nightwing, and Jason Isaac as Ra's al Ghul, and Wade Williams as Black Mask. So those are the main characters in the film. It's actually a quite wide variety of people that are in this film, which I think is one of the pros. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a couple of pros, a couple of cons, and then my overall thoughts about the film and why you should go see it. Couple of pros. I really like the amount of characters that are in the film. Sometimes I feel like in Batman especially, when we only focus on one villain or one plot string, I think the films can drag. And that kind of leads me into my second pro, which is pace. I'm going to hit back into that in a second. But since there's so many plot strings, there's no slowing of the movie. There's no sluggish feeling of the film. There's really good pace because there's so many plot strings going on, and it's not hard to follow. But I really like that. It keeps the pace up in the film. There's a couple of different stories going on. If you know anything about the Red Hood, that's a part of the story, but there's also a second part of the story, which is trying to stop Black Mask, who gets so desperate to hire the Joker. So, the Joker is a real side character in this film. He's not a lot of screen time, and that's how I like my Joker. I think the Joker is such a good this is another pro. I think the Joker is such a great character, but I think it's important to keep him at a 1/3 of the film character, personally, unless you're going to go all out like The Dark Knight. But this isn't like that. You know, the Joker's not the center of this story, so keep him out of the film a little bit. He's in there. He's chaos 100%, and when you need chaos, Joker's the man. And I think he fits the bill perfectly in this film. He's just in it enough to keep you right on the edge. You're right there with him. He has a certain kind of delivery in the film. John DiMaggio does. It's really like maniacal, calculated chaos. It's just really interesting. It's a unique take on the Joker, in my opinion, and I really enjoy it. For my third pro, I want to get back into the pace. I think the pace is such a big deal in this film because if it was to slow down anywhere, it would be in the middle, but that's where actually the big reveal happens on who Red Hood is, if you know anything about that. I also like the plethora of callbacks that are in this film. There's lots of good Easter eggs. We got a couple of scenes from The Killing Joke that are in here. We get the origin of the Joker in this film, of all films. And yeah, man, I think it fits everything really good. It kind of just takes everything that should be in a good Batman film, sprinkling a little Joker, sprinkling a couple of good characters, make sure Ra's is in there. I think it takes all the ingredients of a good Batman film and slams them together, and it fits real well, man. It really goes. I really enjoy this film. A couple of cons. Number one, biggest con is it is exposition hell. There's exposition everywhere in this film, and it is clumsily delivered. I think that's on the writers more than anybody else. There's lots of spots in the film where you have Bruce Greenwood just talking to random people, delivering to them exposition, and it's much needed because it's not a TV series. You know, there's no way to extend this out. It's like an hour 45 minutes. There's no way. If you don't know about these characters, you don't know about Ra's al Ghul, you don't know about Red Hood, you don't know about the Joker, you'll be lost without these exposition scenes. So they're needed, but man, they're real clumsily delivered. They're thrown in spots that are random, like the Amazo scene. When you get to that, you'll see what I'm talking about, where Batman is delivering exposition to like random henchmen. So some of it can be a little clumsy. One last con that I'll put in there is some of the characters are a little bit misused. In the character in particular that I would focus on is Black Mask. He's just kind of a scapegoat in this film. I mean, he's just there. We need him there because Red Hood needs something to chase after, and that's a good way to get him to the Joker. So that's why he's there. So sometimes I feel like he's just a little bit wasted is all. I would actually like to put one more pro on there, and that is the fight between Batman and Red Hood, which is the focus of this movie. Red Hood is the #1 antagonist of the film until the very, very end, and then it turns into Joker. Having somebody who is an equal to Batman, and it might be an overstatement to actually call him an equal. It might be like just slightly below him, but somebody that's right there. He knows the skills. He knows everything that Batman knows. He knows who Batman is. You know, all of those things play into a real interesting match between Batman and Red Hood, and I actually really, really enjoy that. And I think it was also really smart, because Nightwing is in this film. It was really smart to kind of take Nightwing out. Nightwing gets injured a quarter of the way through the film. So taking him out of the fight and making Batman be alone and have to deal with Red Hood, I think was really smart, and it worked really well. So for my final thoughts on the film, I give it a firm 9 out of 10. I think it's a great film. I think it's a great watch too. Like, it's just a really enjoyable watch. I've rewatched it a few times too. So I think it's got that like really unique rewatchable factor, because some films, when you see a movie, sometimes you see it once and you'll go, that's a great movie, but I never want to see it again. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't give you a good feeling, or it doesn't fit like it'd be in the right mood. You don't have to be in the right mood to watch Under the Red Hood. Great film. Heavily suggest you check it out. If you like this series, please let me know. I'm going to keep going with them. I think the next one I'll be doing is Warcraft, because it is very underrated and also overhated as well. So I kind of want to give my opinion on Warcraft. If you want to see that, please leave this video a thumbs up. Another thing that I've been toying around with is maybe doing a live tweet of these movies, because I'm keeping this spoiler free. Maybe we can organize a live tweet of one of these films one of these days. My Twitter's in the outro. You can check that out, and maybe we'll organize something. If you want to see something from me personally, please let me know in the comments, and make sure you're showing me some love, man, because I'm new to the channel, and I'm trying to put out some great content for you guys. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Later.